Jess got me up at 4 a.m. yesterday morning. We were at Sissinghurst. We went straight into the garden. It's a garden, but it has 10 individual garden rooms.
Which are all so different.
And I'd like to do an arrangement inspired by each one of them in turn. But I think today we're going to start with the White Garden. Sissinghurst Castle is in Kent, and it is now run by the National Trust. The garden was created originally by Vita, who was a writer and gardener, and her husband Harold Nicholson, who was a diplomat and an author. They created a garden there
I think they started in the 30s.
In the 30s, but the White Garden wasn't created until I think 1950.
Mm-hmm.
She was writing about it in the early 1950s in her Observer column and sort of updating her readers on the progress that she was making with it. And her idea was to create a grey, green and white garden and to restrict the plants that she was using in this space. The restraint and the limitation creates a really exciting opportunity not to be distracted by colour, but to experiment more with shape and form and texture and volume and structure. So the structure of the White Garden was laid out by Harold Nicholson, who was responsible for the sort of yew and box hedging. He created quite a geometric structure for the garden, and then Vita. And I think this is again why it's such a romantic space, is their collaboration together and their marriage created, really extraordinary garden rooms. But she sort of filled those structures and those lines with abundant planting, billowing, frothy, foamy. She absolutely loved plants and wanted to pack it full with lots of different things. Still to so many people, it's such an inspiring space.
I feel all the gardeners here have that common theme within them, where they all have connected to Vita in some way, whether it's with her writing or just with her gardening or with her life, her interesting life that she's got. We're gardening like she would have done, or trying to garden as she would have done, and bringing the garden back to something that she would recognise, more relaxed, more romantic, tumbling roses. I think you do have that feeling, that that her spirit is still here, because we are fundamentally trying to keep her spirit alive.